I recently put out a video called How to Have 2 Streamers on 1 Stream Remotely. Fantastic video. You should totally go check it out. While you're there, you should drop a sub. 4 days later, after releasing this video, there was a huge announcement that made the entire thing, I don't want to say obsolete because you can still use it, but they announced something that made the entire process a whole lot easier, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Let's make your life easier.
Catch me riding dirty.
So what was announced was a product called Ndi 5. And so Ndi has been around for a long time. And to this point, Ndi has mainly been used to send your screen or different programs wirelessly throughout your own home network. But with Ndi 5, they made it so much easier to send these screens and programs from your own home network across the globe to somebody else with minimal lag time and very high quality. And so that's what we're going to talk today about is Ndi 5. We're going to go over how to install it. We're going to go over how to use it and set it up if you're trying to do a dual stream. If this kind of content is something that interests you, go ahead and drop me a sub. It doesn't take long. And if you learn one thing, then the time you spent subscribing paid for itself. And if you're a real gangster, you might just hit the thumbs up button. I don't know. So let me just take a second in case you guys didn't catch that video and explain to you when I say dual streaming what I'm talking about. We're not talking about squad streaming that's already available on Twitch. We're talking about having one streamer stream their copy of OBS into another streamer's version of OBS, and then that streamer's version of OBS gets pushed out to Twitch. So you'll have one person that is controlling this stream. For instance, if me and you were going to stream together, you would be streaming your version of OBS into me, and then from my stream deck or however I have it set up, I'll be able to choose whether I want it on my screen, whether I want it on your screen, whether we have our camera showing or whatever, and I will push that out to Twitch. There are a lot of different reasons that you may want to do that. I mean, like, it keeps engagement higher. There's always somebody talking, and then just the ability to feed off of each other's energy. I did that for a long time, a dual stream channel with my best friend, and he was just an unfortunate thing where he had some things come up in life where he wasn't able to do it anymore. So I've been holding it down solo for about a year now, and I love streaming to death. It's my passion. It's what I love to do, and it's why I created this channel, to share information with you guys, what I've learned over my course of creating content for YouTube and for Twitch. But sometimes I do miss that dual stream aspect, because just feeding off that energy from your friend, it just creates a whole different dynamic. So I see more and more people doing it, and that's why I'm putting this video together. I want you to be able to do it with the highest quality and as easily as possible. So of course, first and foremost, we need to know how to install Ndi 5. It's as simple as going into Google, typing in Ndi 5, and then you're going to go right down here under Ndi TV and click on Ndi Tools. I'll go ahead and leave this link in the description below for you, so you guys, again, I'm all about making your life easier. Subscribe. So once you get to ndi.tv/tools, you'll be greeted with this page here. Go ahead and just scroll all the way to the bottom. Now this gives you a rundown of everything that's included in the Ndi 5 tools, and there's a lot, and we may even do multiple videos over the different things that you can do with this that will, as a streamer or a content creator, make your life easier. But especially for dual streaming, this is going to be like the answer. So go ahead and scroll all the way down to the bottom here, and you'll see on the left hand side Ndi Tools for Windows. Go ahead and pick this up. Just click download. Or if you're on a Mac, you might consider downloading the Mac version. Just a thought. After going through the installation process, go ahead and open up Ndi Tools, and you'll be greeted with a screen like this. So this is all the different things that come with Ndi Tools for Ndi 5, and a lot of these things are really cool, and they can have a lot of really creative uses when it comes to doing videos, and especially for live streams. But the one that we're going to use is right here, which is Ndi Remote. Right here under the My Connections tab, you're going to see a list of remote connection options. Now, by clicking the check marks next to the different remote connections, that's how you enable that remote connection. So if we click right next to remote connection 1, you'll see that the check mark turns blue, and that means that that connection is active. When you hover over remote connection 1, you'll have 2 options here. One that looks like a little monitor, and this one is going to pop up a different box where you could like view what's being streamed into you via Ndi, but we're not going to need that because we're going to capture it in OBS. The other option here is the share option. When you click that, you're going to be greeted with a screen like this, and you're just going to go ahead and click this box right here on the top right hand side that looks like 2 pieces of paper, and that's going to copy a link for you. You're going to give this link to your friend via Discord or whatever. They're going to open that link, and it's going to open the ability for them to stream their OBS into your OBS. Let's go to that aspect now. So your friend will take that link that you just sent them, post it into their browser, and it's going to open up a page like this. It's going to ask you if you can use your microphone or your camera. You're going to want to go ahead and allow that and agree to the terms of service. Once they do that, they're going to be greeted with a scene like this. It may not have this OBS symbol right here. It could have any number of things going on. And let's explain a little bit about what's going on in this tab here. So at the very bottom, you'll have an NDI box. And if you click that, you'll notice that it turns gray. That means you're no longer sending your stream via NDI. If you click it again, it turns blue. That means that the NDI is active. The microphone icon right next to it is pretty self-explanatory. If you click that, it mutes it. If you unclick it, it unmutes it. And then right next to it is going to be the biggest thing that we're going to want to mess with, and that is your video source. And so when we click here, here is all the different options that we have for which camera we're going to send over to your friend via NDI. In this instance, for dual streaming, you're going to want to use OBS Virtual Cam. Both OBS Studio and Streamlabs OBS have an OBS Virtual Cam, so this should be here for you regardless. If you're not familiar with what Virtual Cam is, let's talk about it for a second. Here in Streamlabs OBS on the right-hand side, you're going to see a box that says Start Virtual Cam. Click that, and it's that easy. Everything that happens in OBS is now going to be sent to that tab that we had posted the link into for the NDI, and then your friend will receive that, and everything that happens on your OBS is going to happen on their OBS source as well. That'll make more sense in a minute. I'm going to bring in a buddy of mine that's in Canada. I'm in Texas, so there's a very big distance there, and we'll see what the latency is like and what the quality is like. But compared to the method that I talked about in the first video, which was OBS Ninja, that method, there's a whole lot of extra setup regarding like alerts and muting different things. And that is stuff that you're not really going to have to worry as much about with this method. And on top of that, the quality, the stability, and the audio quality is going to be so much more above what OBS Ninja could provide. So one thing that's really important to note is that even though you can change which camera source you're sending via NDI, for the microphone, it's only going to use the microphone source that you have set up by default in Google Chrome or whatever browser you're using. So to check that, you're going to want to come up here to these three little dots and go to Settings. Then you'll come over to the left-hand side and go to Privacy and Security, Site Settings, and then come on down here to Microphone. So whatever you have selected here under microphone is the audio that's going to go out with your NDI broadcast to your friend. So unless you have something like a Go XLR where you can break your audio into different channels, you'll need one little piece of extra software, and you can grab that at vb-audio.com/cable. I will put the link in the description below. It's a free software that's going to allow us to send our game sound out to our friend via NDI separately from our microphone. So on the right-hand side, you'd either select to download the Windows version or the Mac version. So it will download as a zip file. Once you have it completely downloaded and extracted, right-click on the setup and run it as administrator. You'll now be able to click and install the driver that will allow us to push our game sound through NDI. After it's installed, you can swing into your control panel, go to your sound settings here, and you'll notice that you have a brand new input called cable input in your playback tab, as well as a brand new input called cable output in your recording tab. So how this works is anything that comes into your cable input will go out through your cable output. Now, since the default playback device on your computer is usually something like your headphones, and we just changed it, we need to set this up so you can still hear the audio that's coming from your computer. And to do that, it's as simple as right-clicking here and going to Properties, come over to the Listen tab and select Listen to this device, and then select from the drop-down menu your headphones. So this will allow us to push out the audio via NDI, but still hear the audio from our computer in our headphones. Now, back where we were earlier on Google Chrome, we'll go to Settings, Privacy and Security, Site Settings, and then we'll come down to our microphone, and you'll notice that it should be our brand new cable output device. If it's not, then you want to change it to that, and that should push our game audio out to the NDI source and still allow us to come into Discord here, go to our voice and video tab in the settings, and select our regular microphone as our input. So now, whenever we're talking to our friend in Discord, they can capture just our microphone without the game sound in Discord, and they can have just our game sound without the microphone through NDI. So here, as the streamer that is sending your stream to the person who is streaming out to Twitch, you will never hit the stream button. You're only going to hit the button that starts and stops this virtual camera. Back in our Google Chrome tab, you'll see that you have an exact copy of what's going on in OBS. So if I go over to OBS and I turn off this image now, it happens immediately. I turn it back on, it happens immediately. And this, by using this link, this is automatically sending this Ndi stream over to the main streamer who's going to stream this out to Twitch. So let's take a look at what they would do on their end after you start sending your OBS virtual cam through this Ndi link. First and foremost, the person that is receiving the stream is going to want to make sure that they have this Ndi integration for OBS. I'll go ahead and link this in the description below as well to make your life easier, but you can always just search Ndi plugin for OBS. You'll find a page like this. It's as easy as coming here and clicking go to download and installing this plugin. We'll click right here, OBS Ndi 4.9.0 Windows installer exe. Once it's downloaded, let's go ahead and get that installed. Now you will get this message because you already have OBS Studio installed. It's just wanting to install that plugin within OBS Studios, the folder that already exists. Don't worry about this, just click yes. Make sure both of these boxes are checked here. As they are, click next and get it installed. After you have the plugin installed, you'll want to go into your OBS and add a new scene. Let's just call it remote connection. And this is going to be the scene that you switch to when you want to switch to the incoming streamer's screen, right? So in the sources, you're going to want to right click, go to add, and we're going to add an Ndi source. Once we set up this Ndi source here and your friend is streaming over via the remote connection, it should be as easy as coming in here into the source name and you'll see your friend's connection incoming. It'll say remote connection into it. So you're just going to click that, click OK, and this will end up showing your friend's OBS coming into yours. This is probably the time where we need to go ahead and bring in my buddy from Canada. Before we get to all that, let me just mention that I do stream over at twitch.tv/Cobras. I'm going to leave the description in the link below just in case you want easier access. You can swing over there, drop me a follow, come catch me every Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 9 p.m. to like 2 a.m. Central Standard Time, usually a little bit later on Fridays. I play a variety of games. Surely we can find something that you'll enjoy watching. So just come by and say hi. Alrighty, I'm here with my buddy Hemo Valencia. Hemo, are you here, buddy?
I'm here.
All the way from Canada?
Just over the border.
And that's a lot of miles if I'm correct, right?
Yep, and even more kilometers.
We don't listen to we don't use the funky metric system here in the States, okay? So I'm in Dallas, Texas. My boy is in Canada. All right, so we're gonna see what kind of latency and stuff this has. Now, we did have to go through quite a bit of setup. I thought this was gonna be like, oh, hey, this is easy. It wasn't that easy, but I'm going to make it easy for you because we did all the painstaking research and trial and error, okay? So what I'm gonna do right now, obviously I have a 2 PC setup, so I'm showing you guys on my gaming PC how I'm gonna bring him in, and then I'll do it on the PC that I'm recording this video on. It'll make more sense in a minute. I just want to make sure that you guys know how to do it. Emo went through and he did exactly the steps that I talked about earlier. So he went through and went to the link that I sent him. At that link, he selected his OBS virtual cam as his camera source. And then I picked it up in my OBS and I'll show you how I did that. Okay, so all you got to do is go over here, and probably what I would do, you're going to want to make another scene if you're dual streaming. So come over to scenes, right click, go to add, and then just make one that is whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to name this one remote. And then under your sources here, you'll right click, you'll go add, and you're going to add this Ndi source right here. So I would just call this remote. Gosh, why do every time I type remote, it's capital R, capital E, apparently. Remote Ndi. And then from here, since he has that Ndi active from the link that I sent him, we should, under the source, be able to choose remote connection 1, just like this. And so now when I enable this and turn this on, this should be Hemo's stream right there. So run around a little bit for me if you would, Hemo. Perfect. Okay, so right now you guys aren't going to be able to hear the audio. When I pull it into this recording computer here, you will be able to hear the audio. So it's that simple. Now, the other thing we're going to do when I get over to this recording computer is I'll walk you through this, even though it won't show up just yet. In order to get his cam in, we're in a Discord call and he's sharing his camera with me and we're sharing our voice through that same call. So when you want to add that, what we'll do is we're going to right click here. We'll go to add and we're going to go to window capture. And then from here, you should have a window capture option that says Discord. And we'll go ahead and get that set up on this recording PC right now. Okay, so here we are. I have his Ndi stream pulled into my main streaming OBS. Now you guys should be able to hear the audio that goes with his game and all. One thing that I will mention, whenever you add this Ndi Source, like I just showed you previously, make sure for the transform to go in and right click on your Ndi Source, go to transform and click on fit to screen. The reason that you're going to want to do that is that for some odd reason, Ndi Remote, it uses a variable bitrate. So based on the connection, it may increase the resolution, decrease the resolution, increase the bitrate. So if you don't have it set to fit to screen, you'll notice that it's going to like shrink the picture and grow the picture and all that. Here, if that needs to happen, instead of shrinking the whole resolution, it's just going to drop the bitrate. So it may look a little grainier at sometimes if that connection isn't the best, but it's not going to change the size of the box. So what I mean is, like, if it was dropping and you didn't have fit to screen, it would all of a sudden go like this, and then it would go back like this, and it would go like this. So just make sure you go to your Ndi Source, right click, go to transform, and then hit fit to screen, just like so. All right, so we've got his gameplay in. It looks smooth to me. I want to test like the delay here. All right, so again, I'm in Dallas, Texas. Homeboy's in Canada. He hasn't even dropped one dad joke yet, which is kind of crazy. We've decided in stream that Canadians are born with like a dad joke handbook. This dude is like the dad joke king. If you want to catch his stream, I'm gonna leave the link in the description below. You should definitely go show him some love. Twitch.tv/TimoValencia. But dude, do a little, like, tell me each time you swing so we can see what the delay is here.
Sure. I'm going for a swing now. And swing's gonna come through now. And swing it down.
Okay. Do like a left-right thing, like left, right, left, right.
Okay. So left, right, left, right, left, right.
Dude, that's like very minimal delay considering the distance that we are, especially. That's really pretty impressive. For the next part here, like I showed you previously, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in his camera. Now, I mentioned that we are in a Discord call and we're sharing our cams. So I'm going to add a source and I'm going to add a window capture. And I'm just going to name this like remote cam. You guys can't see this. Maybe I'll put a little overlay of me doing it in the other software here. So we'll name it remote cam. There he is right there. And then what I'm going to do is just hold Alt and I'm going to resize it so that the camera... Look at that pretty man right there. Look at him. He's trying not to smile. Look at him, dude. Okay, here we go. Just like this. We'll have it resized. You can alt drag to crop it however you want, and then boom. That's two dudes, one screen right there. Don't check out that website. I don't know what you would find. So as you can see, like, because we're capturing his webcam in Discord, say a funny Canadian thing, bro.
Oh, geez. Now you're putting me on the spot.
What is one funny Canadian thing, bro? They have milk in bags, bro. Milk in bags. Weirdo.
In certain parts of Canada, at least. We do here. And actually prefer it.
You prefer your milk in a bag?
I do.
That's a whole different video all in of itself.
You can call me weird, but I like it.
I've never had bag milk, man. But I just wanted to showcase the fact that his mouth is on visually with his words coming through Discord. And then we've got the gameplay. You saw how little delay that is right there. So really, with Ndi 5, it's this simple as going in, bringing in his gameplay via an Ndi source, sending him that link, and then capturing the cameras in Discord and bringing it in. You can see that the camera is actually really good quality. Hopefully you guys can follow me there with what I was saying, and if not, I kind of went into some of the stuff more in depth on the first video as far as like why you may want to dual stream and ways to do the alerts and that kind of stuff. But I wanted to make this video a little bit quicker and just give you guys the updated method that seems to work a little bit better. Now it's as simple as if we want to switch to my screen, whether you're using a stream deck or you've got hotkeys, whatever, I can go in and click on my scene. It'll switch on over. We've still got his camera here. I added that same little edited in version of his webcam from the Discord window capture on my scene, and you can just switch it back and forth between your gameplays. But you're gonna have to make sure that whenever you switch to the remote streamer's gameplay, that it does mute your gameplay audio. There are a whole bunch of videos out there on how to set up multi-actions and stuff like in your stream deck or hotkeys, so that whenever you switch to their stream, that it does mute your audio. So you guys could definitely go check that out. If you want to see me set a video up on that, then I would certainly not mind doing that to help you guys out. But you want to avoid having both gameplay audios coming through at once. So if you have a stream deck or some other kind of software, it's as simple as setting up 2 multi-actions or a multi-action switch to where when you hit the button, it will activate your desktop audio and your scene, so the audio for your scene. And then when you hit it again, or you hit the other button, it will deactivate your desktop audio and then switch to your friend's scene, where the NDI audio will take over there. So you hit the button again, it'll turn back on. You get it, dude. Go check out my first video on this for a little more detail on that.
Catch me riding dirty.
I know that a lot of this seems really complicated, and I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, dual streaming can be really complicated at times, but I've put in the hard footwork here for you guys so that I can make it as easy as I can. And if you guys have any more questions or any questions in general, you can always swing into the Discord, which I have a link for below, or just hit me up on Twitter, link below, or swing by my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/cobras and ask me some questions there, because there is a lot of troubleshooting sometimes that goes along with this. But if you can get through this initial setup, and if you have to rewind the video and pause the video to walk, go through the steps with me, then do it, because getting through this initial setup is the hardest part, and you'll be riding smooth from there. If you guys did check out my first video and you implemented some of that stuff, I would definitely still recommend that you check out Ndi 5. This process is going to be a whole lot easier for you in the long run, I guarantee it, and it's going to result in a better quality stream, hands down. There's even some stuff coming out really soon with Ndi 5 that should make the process even easier, and I promised you guys that I will make a video on that when that drops as well. And once again, this is a really new channel. I just kind of started it to share the things that I have learned over my content creation career that I've been going for almost 6 years now on YouTube and Twitch. And so if you're interested in learning more about things like this when it comes to streaming or gear reviews, tips and tricks, that kind of stuff, then definitely give me a sub here on this channel. I'm trying to push for that 1,000 subscriber mark. I feel like we can get there soon. I appreciate the support that you guys have shown on the videos thus far. It means the world to me. But I'm gonna stop blabbing for now. I feel like that's a good place to end this one. And until I see you next time, see you later, dudes.